Another teacher, Mrs. Olson, was standing outside. Then she raised a pair of scissors. Principal Drake was still doomed. The next day, the students came to school as usual. No one knew what had happened the night before. Only Casey noticed something was off. The coach, who used to be a kind person, suddenly had a bad temper. He scolded Casey for no reason, which made Casey feel a little weird. Then he started feeling physics and walked into the board class without hesitation. That made Casey feel even more confused. So he told Delilah, the school newspaper editor, a beautiful, ambitious girl. He never backed down. They decided to sneak into the teacher's office to find out what was going on. But after searching around, they found nothing unusual.
Which brush is this? What do you use it
outside the door. They panicked.
I was washing that name
As soon as they
inside.
entered, they started drinking water.
You see, if you put this on, it will block sink. And they
I will
will
pack it. I will pack it. I don't want to pack it with water. That is why I put it like that.
They said the physics.
If you put it in water, it will be smelling.
back sink, and they will start charging us to
The door opened
unblock
again.
it.
The school nurse.
I will pack it. I don't want to put
You
it.
see what you
Give me nylon bag.
See, you do like this. You let the water go, then the
Give me nylon bag.
I don't have it.
He turned into a hideous monster.
Because if it blocks is a problem.
It will not block. I will pack it. I will pack it. I don't want to put it with
Then
water.
cover it. I fear. When I think
Don't worry. Yeah, I'm not using water. If I finish, I'm not using
Yeah,
water.
because if I
I
think
know how it used to be now.
I'm
Not using
they will
water.
start giving me problems.
tried to explain everything to her, but she didn't believe a word of it. Then, when they looked back, Harper, who had just been killed, was standing there perfectly fine. It felt so wrong, so they ran again. Casey tripped and fell to the ground. Lila ran off and disappeared. But strangely, none of the teachers chased them. Later, Casey came back with his parents and a police officer to investigate. Principal Drake was very cooperative. She calmly opened the cabinet. But the body inside had turned into a plastic doll. There was nothing else unusual. Then, Drake suggested that she speak with the officer in private. After a while, they both came out. But now the officer's eyes looked strange too. Clearly, he had been infected as well. After the police left, Principal Drake asked to speak to Casey's mom alone. This made Casey panic. He quickly lied and said he needed to see a doctor, just so he could get his mom away from the monster. Soon after, the Queen Parasite, with help from the coach, began launching brutal attacks all over the school. A bunch of teachers had already been infected. They gathered together and started drinking water like maniacs. One bucket after another, non-stop. Now the infected teachers became the main source of infection. They made all the students line up and sent them into the office for physical exams. But after coming out, they started acting super irritable. Just like the teachers, they all began lining up to drink more water. All these weird signs made Casey suddenly think of a mysterious creature. He remembered it was activated by water, so he called a few classmates and rushed to the lab. But the tank was empty. The bugs had disappeared. Casey now believed it for sure. Aliens had invaded the school, and the teachers were all possessed. Meanwhile, on the other side of the school, Pete, a total scumbag, had his eyes on Mary Beth. He flirted a little, and Mary Beth took the bait. They sneaked into the chemistry lab together. Just when things were about to get steamy, they overheard Casey in the next room talking about aliens and teachers. Zeke walked in, ready to make fun of him. But before he could say anything, Mr. Furlong, the science teacher, suddenly showed up. He asked them why they weren't in class. Zeke quickly ratted Casey out, saying he was spreading wild theories about the teachers. He finished talking and was about to leave, but Mr. Furlong stopped him. Casey tried to run, but Mr. Furlong grabbed him by the neck and threw him hard across the room. Zeke realized something was very wrong. He grabbed a paper cutter and chopped off 5 of Mr. Furlong's fingers. But the fingers didn't die. They fixed on the ground like bugs and started crawling toward the girl. Mr. Furlong slammed Zeke onto the table, and red tentacles shot out from his wound, trying to infect Zeke. At the last second, Zeke grabbed a bottle of diuretic and splashed it straight into his left eye. Mr. Furlong began twitching violently. It looked like the parasite couldn't handle it. That accident led to a big discovery. Diuretics could kill the bugs. Now they had a chance to fight back. Casey grabbed a sample of the creature in a jar and decided to take it home for further study. When they left, the noisy school had become strangely quiet. Students were now sitting up straight in class. They eagerly raised their hands to answer questions. After class, the hallways were silent. No one was laughing, shouting, or messing around. It looked like the parasite had started spreading across the whole school. Many students had already been infected. They couldn't stay there any longer, so they jumped into a car and drove away as fast as they could. But the police they met on the road were also possessed by parasites, so they quickly turned around and escaped. Everyone regrouped at Zeke's secret lab. He took the tailpiece of a parasite and dropped it into a mouse cage. He added a drop of water and kept it creepy happen. The parasite quickly latched onto the mouse.
this one.
It passed the
How you
delicate
put that on
symbiotic
back inside that bag? No, just keep it here
Zeke
now.
immediately strangled the mouse and began dissecting it. He removed the full parasite from its body. After research, they discovered something shocking. The parasite inside the mouse wasn't an independent organism. It was only a small piece of the queen matrix. Once it infected a host, the host would be fully controlled. According to sci-fi theory, if they could destroy the queen body, all infected subjects would return to normal. Luckily, they had already discovered that diuretics could kill the bugs. Just a sprinkle, and the parasite would dry up and die. Delilah suggested they run while they still could, but Casey disagreed. He believed they needed to fight back and find the queen parasite. Right then, Stan raised a tough question. What if one of us is already infected? The search for the queen hadn't even started yet, and now there was internal distrust. Zeke had an idea. He took out the diuretics and gave some to everyone. Everyone had to take it to prove they were still breathing. But during the test, they made a horrifying discovery. Delilah had already been possessed. Once exposed, she pushed Stan down violently and ran. Casey aimed his gun at her, but he had a crush on her and couldn't pull the trigger. Under control of the parasite, she took the chance to destroy all the lab material. Then she broke out the door and ran. The diuretic supply was running low, so everyone chased after her. They decided it was time. They had to return to the school, find the queen parasite, and destroy it once and for all. The school was holding its annual rugby game. Most of the town had gathered to watch. But if they didn't find the queen parasite soon, everyone here would be infected. In the crowd, they noticed Principal Drake. She looked suspicious. They guessed she might be the queen, and she had noticed them too. So they set a trap and lured her into the gym. They knocked her down and tried to hold her still, but she didn't cooperate. She kept arguing and pretending. Then Zeke shot her. But shockingly, Principal Drake stood up again. Countless parasites crawled out of her body. Mary Beth, without hesitation, splashed the last bit of diuretic on her face. It was too late for Zeke to stop her. After a few terrifying screams, Principal Drake finally died. To confirm if she was the queen, Stan ran out to check the field. Only 2 doses of diuretics remained. He took one and left in the pouring rain. At the field, he saw Coach Willis's mutated body. He stood motionless, absorbing rainwater. They had guessed wrong. Principal Drake wasn't the queen. Back in the gym, everyone looked nervous. Suddenly, Stan returned, soaking wet. He said the queen was still alive and asked them to open the door. But Casey and the others didn't fall for it. They passed him the last dose of diuretic and told him to use it to prove he wasn't infected. But instead, he dumped it on the ground. Now it was obvious. He was also controlled by the bug. With no more diuretics left, everyone was trapped again. He suddenly remembered there was some extras in his car. He and Casey decided to make a run for it. But on the way, they ran into a group of infected students. They quickly hid under a car. The police car was still a few steps away. Without hesitation, Casey ran out and escaped. He hid inside a bus.
Kai, no. You spoil this snipot. You don't scab it with those, with that thing. Jesus.
It's not too much now.
No, you don't. That's why we have those rubber in it. You'll spoil it. You'll make it look like this one inside.
It will not look. It will not look. Only na. Where did you see it? It will not look. Where did you see it?
No, you don't scratch it with this thing. That's why we have those rubber things.
Yeah, I have this kind of pot.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I have this kind of pot. That is it. Don't you see pot I use?
You know how I take care of my things.
It will not spoil. Not only na will make it spoil. So I have this pot now. Don't you see all this pot I used to use? I have it.
But you know this pot is not like this one. If you use this one,
not
you
this
spoil
one. I
it.
don't have this one. I have this one. Don't you
But
see
if
the one I
you
used
use
to
this one to do like this, you spoil it.
But I don't scrub it like that because I'm not to, because I have this pot at home. Where did you see it scrub? I do it a little. I have this pot
If you
at
cook
home.
with this pot with 1 month, yours will spoil.
Which pot? Wait, let me go off from this YouTube. Wait, which pot did you see me used to cook?